I've been a Zelda fanboy for almost half my life. The very first Zelda game I played was Ocarina of Time on my 3DS back when I was in 6th grade. And now, all these years later, I'm not so patiently waiting for the release of the sequel of one of my favorite games of all time. Still not better than Wind Waker though. As I've been taking a trip down memory lane and watching old Zelda theories and re-engaging with the extensive Zelda lore, I've realized something unfortunate, or should I say, I was reminded of something unfortunate. You probably already know what I'm talking about since you've seen the title, and if you don't, that means the title's different than I initially planned. Regardless, let me put you onto my thought process real quick. Ganondorf. That's my guy! My dude. My brethren, the Sorcerer King himself. Ganondorf is one of my favorite characters in Zelda. Ganondorf just has such a cool design. In Twilight Princess, he just looks so badass. That is not a man you want to fuck with. And in Wind Waker, his cloak looks so dignified. He gives off the ever respectable, strong, and wise man, despite his evil disposition. He may be the personification of all evil, but in Wind Waker at least, he has a very noble motivation. His entire motivation for destroying the Kingdom of Hyrule was to give new land to his people, who are forced to live in a harsh desert. He wanted a better life for his people, so he took matters into his own hand and does what any honorable man would do, and fought for his people. I can make a whole video about how much I like Ganondorf, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about this. Feel free to attack at any moment. Any moment. Today, please. Oh shit! I don't think Ganondorf has a single good fight in all his appearances. And this one really is the worst one because of the potential it had to be great. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna go through each one by one. The lead up to the Ocarina of Time's final encounter is still the best in the series in my opinion. Honestly, one of the best in gaming history. You open the stone door and climb up the long winding spiral staircase, anticipation mounting as you prepare for the fight at hand. You still yourself as you enter the room, only to find out it was Ganondorf all along playing the theme you've been hearing the entire time you've been exploring the castle. There she is, Zelda, the one you want to save. Now is the time. You look at Ganondorf's back as the organ swells and the Triforce pieces that you, him, and Zelda possess resonate. It's finally time for the final confrontation. If I want to be completely transparent here, this fight is honestly more snooze-inducing than Breath of the Wild's. The vibes leading up to this fight are so immaculate, if only the fight actually matched. But it's fine, it's on the N64, I'll cut it some slack. And to be fair, the Ganon form after this was alright, but no, just doesn't quite scratch the itch for me. While this is my favorite Ganondorf by a long shot in terms of aesthetics and personality, his boss fight isn't the best. It isn't the worst either, just mediocre, which is honestly a bigger crime. Leading up to the final fight, we get an amazing monologue. The reason this Ganondorf is my favorite. We get a peek into his psyche, and although he's done horrible things, compared to other interpretations of the character, he has understandable motivations. Then after this monologue, he beats the absolute shit out of Link, clobbers him. He completely bullies this man, oh my goodness gracious. But doesn't kill him because he's not a savage animal. Like I said earlier, he has class. But he gets stream sniped by the King of Hyrule, which throws him into a rage, and he proceeds to fight Link after he realizes his dream of liberating his people will never come true. The stage has been set, it's all cinematic, got the water enclosed battle arena. All they have to do is deliver on the fight. They don't though. In an effort to make it feel cinematic, the actual fight itself is bland. Extremely easy to read telegraph attacks for his first form. There's no switch up in his moveset. He's just pressing X over and over again. Then you wait for Zelda to fiddle around with the light arrows and boom, he's dead. Super cinematic, but not all that fun, which is alright I guess, just not for me. This is my favorite Ganondorf fight however, because they stick solely to the theatrics and don't pretend to make an engaging boss fight. Much to my dismay, but it is what it is. I'm just nitpicking and biased.
Be done.
The Twilight Princess Ganondorf fight had the potential to be the best by a long shot. But like I said, I just can't forgive the way it squandered the hype and momentum it had in the final moments. Allow me to set the scene. The entirety of the game, we the players see Zant reign terror over the land of Hyrule. He has command of all the beasts of Hyrule and brings more foreign creatures from another realm to aid him in his conquest. We see not just the people of Hyrule suffer, but even those close to Link. It's really a tragic tale. Towards the end of the game, however, we find that Ganondorf, not Zant, was the real mastermind behind it all. He must be a truly formidable tyrant. Boom, snap cut to the final sequence of the game. We finally come face to face with the true mastermind himself. After a brief encounter, he uses Zelda's body to attack Link. He can't deal physical blows to the princess, so in order to defeat Ganon and not harm Zelda, we play more tennis. After saving the princess and driving Ganondorf from her body, we fight his dark beast form. Beast on beast action ensues as Ganon and Link attack each other on all fours. I actually quite like this section because while it's not that difficult in the same way as traditional boss fights, there's a small puzzle element as it's not immediately apparent that you're supposed to use your beast form. So it shakes the fight up a little bit. But anyway, Link wins. The characters are under the impression that he's gone, but no, he returns once more with an awesome cinematic entrance. Link and Zelda jump into action, banding together to engage in horseback combat against the Demon King. So far, this boss fight is actual flames. It's cinematic, cool as fuck, and feels like the culmination of everything we've been working for, as we use every ability in our arsenal to take down Ganondorf. Mwah. This is what I love to see. Boss fights don't need to be hard, they just need to be interesting, not boring. And this is definitely interesting. Seems like this game's gonna end off with a bang. Finally, getting the Zelda ending I always wanted. The action keeps ramping up. I'm excited to see how this wraps up. Bruh. This whole last part of the fight is just Ganondorf slowly waltzing up to you. You mash A for a bit, rinse and repeat until he's dead. And when he dies, he lets out the goofiest scream I've ever heard. All that build up for a lame ending to the fight. While hilarious, this ain't it. That final section really ruins the fight for me, honestly. Like, Ganondorf is supposed to be this imposing, deadly, highly skilled man. So deadly that they had to send him to another realm. And he just lazily approaches you as the final encounter. Hold on. Now that I think about it, wasn't this part of the fight just him running away because he was scared? Bro, look, he's literally juking. Nah, bro, scared as hell. And then earlier, he was using Zelda's body instead of his own. Clever, yeah, but a cowardly move. Twilight Princess's Ganondorf might not be the GOAT that I thought he was. Damn. When it comes to pomp and circumstance, the Ganondorf fights are second to none. But when the actual fights are happening, it's just boring. It's not like Zelda can't do bosses either. Look at this. Then you have Ganondorf. Zelda has some of the best bosses in all of gaming, but Ganondorf just doesn't get the same treatment. Maybe it's just me, but the Ganondorf fights are always the worst or one of the worst fights in the game. Despite my complaints, I still really like Ganondorf, but my boy deserves better, and I'm hoping with all my might that Tears of the Kingdom delivers the Ganondorf fight I've been hoping for all my life. I'm trying to see him go absolutely goblin mode, and if I don't get it, oh my God! Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, like and subscribe or I'll turn your entire family into Tingle plushies. Take it easy, and as usual, have a good one.